Year 5 and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson with me, Miss Medlicott. In today's lesson we are going to be continuing finding fractions of a quantity. So that means to find fractions of an amount. So we will be using division and multiplication skills to find those fractions of amounts. We will use the bar model to support understanding like we did in the previous lesson. And we're going to be completing an investigation today where you're going to find fractions of amounts and decide, based on the wording of the question, which fraction of the amount you would prefer to have. So I'll explain that when we get on to the investigation part. For now, let's start with flashback 5. So I said to you that we'd be using our division skills. Really important, year 5, that we understand that in finding fractions of quantities, we have to use our knowledge of division. So whilst you might look at flashback 5 today and think, well, that's quite straightforward, I can't emphasise to you enough just how important it is that we understand that to divide means to split into equal parts. And this is so important for our understanding of fractions and also for how we use the bar model. So flashback 5 is on the screen today. Flashback 5 for today is now on the screen. Pause the video to have a go at these questions. And your answers. So the first one is 4, then 5, and then A is 6, D is 12, and G is 6. Right then, so I've mentioned to you the bar model and how we use it to find fractions of amounts. Well, I'm going to talk you through the different steps here, and this is an example that you can refer back to when you are completing your investigations. So if you're presented with the question of what are 4/5 of £30, we're using money here, it's a money context. You'd have your one bar which is worth 30. Your whole is worth £30. Remember we said that a whole could be worth more than one thing. It doesn't have to just be one, the digit 1. It can be worth £30, it could be worth £1 million, it could be worth 5, any number, okay, the whole could be worth. In this case, it's £30. Now, we are finding 4/5 of £30. So underneath your one bar, you're going to do an identical bar, so it's exactly the same, but you're going to divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. Yes, we're dividing it by 5 because that is the denominator of the fraction. Once we've divided 30 by 5, we come up with an answer of 6. So each of these bars has to be worth £6. Okay, 30 divided by 5 is 6. Now, we're told that we are asked to find 4/5 of 30. So we've coloured 1, 2, 3, 4 of these 6s red. We're then timesing 6 by 4. 6 times 4, 24. So 4/5 of £30 is £24. Okay, I'm going to move on. But remember, this, you can refer back to this explanation when you come to do your own investigations. So, as a kind of a warm-up using the bar model, I'd like you now to have a go at answering these questions. Now, we have part of a fraction wall where we have the whole as 64. Previously, the whole was £30, now it's worth 64. And you're asked to find a quarter, an eighth, 3/4 or 7/8 of 64. So I've drawn some bars to help you. If you're finding a quarter of 64, we have split our second bar into quarters, into 4 equal parts. What would one of those parts be worth? So it's 64 divided by 4. Okay, so same principle for finding 1/8, except this time we've split the bar into 8 equal parts. Once you've found out what 1/4 is, you can use that information to find 3/4. So it would be 3 out of those bars that you need to work out together what they are worth. And same for 7/8. Once you know what 1/8 is worth, you can then work out what 7/8 are worth. Pause the video now to have a go. Okay, so the answers are going to come up on the screen in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So 1/4 of 64 is 16. 1/8 of 64 is going to be half of 16. As we can see, 1/4 is the same as 2/8. So that's worth 8. 3/4 is 16 times by 3, because we divided 64 by the denominator, which is 4, and then we multiplied it by 3, which is the numerator. So that gives us an answer of 48. Very good. 7/8 of 64. There are two ways you could do it. The first one, if we know that 1/8 of 64 is 8, I'm then going to do 8 times by 7 is 56. The other way of working it out, well, if the whole is worth 64, I know that 8/8 is the same as 1 whole. 8/8 will be worth 64, but I want to find out 7/8, so all I'm going to do is take off 1/8, subtract 1/8. 64 take away 8 is 56. So two ways of getting the same answer. Go with whichever you're most comfortable with. Okay, so now on to the investigations. Green chili peppers, this is investigation A, involving some sweeties. You have 36 sweets. You can choose between having 3/4 of the sweets or 5/6 of the total amount of sweets. Would you choose A or B so that you had the most amount of sweets? Make sure you explain your answer. So here you're having to find the fractions of amounts involving sweeties and then work out which one would give you the most amount of sweets. Make sure you explain your answer. So I'd like to see workings out and an explanation, please. That's green chili pepper challenge. Yellow chili pepper challenge. You're wanting to buy a jumper. The jumper is £42. In shop A, the jumper is priced at 5/6 of the original price being the starting price. In shop B, the jumper is priced at 2/3 of the original price. In which shop would you be able to buy the jumper for, I should say, the cheapest price? The cheapest. So are we wanting the biggest amount or the lowest amount if it's the cheapest? Workings out, and you need to explain your answer. That is investigation B and the yellow chili pepper challenge. And then red chili pepper challenge is investigation D, where you've got 108 marshmallows to share at a party, but you have to give some to your brother. You can either keep 5/6 of the marshmallows to share at your party or give your brother 7/12. Which fraction, explain which fraction you would choose so that you had the greatest amount to share at your party. So just take care with the wording of this one if you're having a go at red chili peppers. If you've got to think carefully about the phrasing of it and just work out which amount you're giving to your brother and which one you'd be able to keep for yourself to share at your party. Pause the video now to have a go at one of these investigations. Okay everyone, well done. Remember Year 5, if you want to try another investigation with a different coloured chili pepper, please feel free to do so. The more practice you have at this, the better it is. So don't feel you've just got to choose one. You can choose all three if you like. But the answers are now coming up on the screen in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So that's for green chili pepper challenge. Pause the video to mark your work. Yellow chili pepper challenge, your answers. Pause the video to mark your work. And then red chili pepper challenge, pause the video to mark your work. Very well done. If you saw red chili peppers, that actually, if you give 7/12 to your brother, means that you keep 5/12 for yourself. So there you had to do a little bit of subtraction of fractions. And we can see that we prefer option A because it gives us the most amount to share at our party. Okay, and then the review. I want you just to write down what went well with the investigation, or if you did more than one investigations. Was there anything that you found was particularly successful, that you were particularly good at? What did you find difficult? It's important to have a little think about what we find that we're good at or we feel confident with, and areas that we feel a little bit less confident with, because those are the areas we should really be focusing to practice and to keep working on. Very well done for all your hard work today, Year 5, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!